Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Queen and Alpha's podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how to master emotional detachment and how to heal from a breakup. First of all, we're going to break down the meaning of detachment and also talk about some myths surrounding the topic of detachment. Detachment refers to a state of emotional and mental liberation from attachment to outcomes, possessions, or specific circumstances. Detachment is the ability to be able to let go of excessive clinginess, desire, or dependency. It is about knowing the importance of your self-well-being without attaching it to that of another person. Detachment involves a balanced perspective. It allows you to observe and experience life without being consumed or controlled by it or the people that you are around. People often confuse attachment with being cold, being alone, or having no emotion. However, detachment does not mean that you are disengaged or that you are cold and bitter, but instead it means that you have a healthy and non-attached approach to friendships, relationships, and life in general. This in turn gives you more inner peace. It helps you with acceptance, and it also helps your ability to respond in certain situations with clarity and freedom from unnecessary emotional suffering. The reason why detachment is so beneficial is because it helps you gain inner strength. It makes you more resilient and gives you the ability to navigate life's challenges with a greater sense of inner peace. Everybody needs to master detachment to some extent because it's truly the only way to ensure a healthy relationship with yourself and others. The reason for this is because when you have not mastered attachment, there will be codependency, obsessiveness, and loss of self-identity. For example, we see that people who have been in a very long relationship, they go through a major identity crisis if the relationship ends. They no longer know what they like, who they are, or what their hobbies are. This is because they have completely attached themselves to another person's character and identity and intertwined it with theirs. So they end up feeling lost and completely alone when the relationship breaks up. When people don't practice attachment, they go through major identity crises. And this is why it's important to understand how to practice detachment. Whether or not you're in a relationship or you're single, you need to know how to detach from situations and people to make sure you never lose your self-identity and to make sure that you never become obsessive or clingy and become prey to being in the emotional mercy of other people. So now we're going to talk about how to master detachment, practical steps to help you. Mastering emotional detachment is a process. At times, it might feel like it's impossible, but this is because it's an ongoing process. It requires a lot of self-awareness. It requires patience and commitment. So, a few things that can help you to master emotional detachment is being able to cultivate self-awareness. This means that you have to develop a deep understanding of your emotions. You need to understand your triggers and you need to recognize any patterns of attachment. You have to be able to observe your emotional reactions without the feeling of judgment. And you have to identify the beliefs and fear that drive them. So you need to know what makes you feel attached to a person, how you react, and you need to find out why you feel that way. For example, if you find out that you always struggle with clinginess and obsessiveness when you're with a new partner, it might stem from the reasons why might actually stem from your childhood. Did you grow up as a single child? Were you neglected as a child? You need to find out the deeper causes of why you feel the way you do and why you react the way you do. And it's very important that when you have done all this work, you have to keep it going even when you are in a relationship. Don't do all this hard work of mastering detachment and understanding yourself just to throw it all away for somebody when you enter a relationship. Another way to master emotional detachment is by practicing mindfulness. This means that you have to learn how to be present and in the moment. You have to be observant of your emotions as soon as they arise without sweeping them under the carpet. Mindfulness is a way of understanding how you feel in the moment and tackling it there and then. Instead of letting it build up and pile up, you can do this with some breathing exercise or through meditation if you believe in meditation. This will help you to witness your emotions and it will help you to master emotional detachment. Another way you can master emotional detachment is by challenging your thoughts and beliefs. So you have to sit down and examine the thoughts and beliefs that makes you very attached. So for example, are you overly attached to your partner or your friend because you have a fear of abandonment, or is it because you feel like that's the only way for you to feel loved? You have to sit down and question why you react the way you do, and you have to explore the reasons why and how to get away from it. This is going to give you a more balanced and realistic mindset. Another way to master emotional detachment is by developing healthy coping mechanisms. So find healthy ways to manage and process your emotions. You can do this through journaling, through physical exercise, through creative outlets like retail therapy, or you can do this by seeking support from a trusted person such as a therapist. These practices is going to help you cope better when your emotions arise and you're finding it hard to control it. You also have to practice the act of letting go. You have to learn how to detach from outcomes and expectations and that need for control. If you didn't get to the university or school of your choice, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to let it go. Don't beat yourself up about it. Have the mindset that every single thing that happened for the reason, and that reason is to favor you. That way, when people leave your life or opportunities escape you, you don't feel like it was meant for you or something has been taken away from you. Instead, you believe that that is what was meant to happen. You have to embrace the idea that you cannot control everything in life because there are a lot of things that is outside our control no matter how hard we try. So this is the art of letting go and just accepting the situation for what it is, whether it's a breakup, whether it's something to do with your academics, financial issues, friendship issues. Master the art of letting go. Another great way to master emotional detachment is by setting boundaries. You have to establish healthy boundaries in relationships and situations. So, for example, if you have some boundaries, such as the way people speak to you, in friendships, for example, you might call your friends names when you're joking around or being silly. For some people, this triggers them because it reminds them of being spoken down to as a child. So if this is you, you have to be able to say, you know what, I don't appreciate name calling. I know you're just joking, but I don't find it funny. So when you establish these boundaries, your relationships and friendships become more strong. They become more fair to your emotions. And lastly, another way that you can master emotional detachment is by seeking professional support. Consider reaching out to a therapist to help you with your emotional well-being. They will give you tools and insight and support you to your specific needs. After all this has been said, it's important that you remember that being able to master detachment is a journey. It's a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a matter of days. It's normal to encounter challenges and it's normal to feel like you've been set back, but you have to keep pursuing that journey. You have to be patient with yourself and kind to yourself. And when you have made progress, for example, if you manage to go 30 days without going back to your toxic ex, celebrate your wins because they are wins. In this next section, we're going to briefly talk about how to heal from a breakup and how to detach from somebody that you loved in the past. So it's important to know that healing from a breakup is a very unique and personal process. It can take lots of time. Some people are over it in a matter of months, some even weeks, but for some people, it can take 10 years really to fully get over somebody. It can be that difficult for some people. But we're going to talk about 3 practical ways a woman can heal from a breakup. The first way, you have to allow yourself to grieve and process the emotions. Give yourself time and permission to feel and express the emotions that you are feeling after a breakup. Allow yourself to grieve the loss of that relationship. Acknowledge the sadness, the anger, the pain, and the fear that you feel. You have to give yourself that time and space to process these emotions. Don't suppress them. Don't judge yourself for it. Let it all out. Cry if you need to. Go to a rage room if you need to. Get it all out. Doing this is a way to have a healthy coping mechanism. You can do this by journaling, you can talk to a friend, you can talk to a therapist, you can do activities that help you release your emotions. The second way is by focusing on self-care and prioritizing self-love. In the period of a breakup, it's very important that you're taking care of yourself during your healing period. You have to take care of your physical, emotional, and mental needs. Engage in activities that bring you joy. Relax and have a sense of self-empowerment every time you get yourself out of bed and do something productive. This way you'll be nurturing yourself and you'll be protecting your overall well-being. This is going to look different for everybody. Some people, they enjoy activities like mindfulness, breathing, journaling, exercise. Some people like pottery. Some people like dancing. So there is no one rule to it. Self-care and self-love is open to interpretation and people have different approaches to it. So if you're not somebody that enjoys journaling, although I do encourage journaling and I really do urge you to try it, but if you're not somebody that has the patience to sit down and journal, that's fine. There's so many other ways to let it out and other activities to engage in to help you. The third way that you can use to heal from a breakup is by creating a supportive network. You have to surround yourself with a strong support system, whether it's your family or friends. Don't feel shame talking about it. When it comes to things like unfaithfulness, for some reason, a lot of women feel shame to admit that they have been cheated on or they were cheated on multiple times. Don't feel shame. There's nothing to feel shame about. Just let your pride go and confide in the people that you trust. A problem shared is really a problem half solved. So just having that outlet that you can just spill your emotions is going to give you a feeling of love, understanding, and encouragement. Get an accountability partner if you need to, somebody that's going to check up on you to make sure that you're not going back or you're not doing you're not living an unhealthy life. Just someone that makes sure that you're actually getting out of bed and getting on with your day. So those are the 3 practical ways to heal from a breakup. But it's important to note that you need to realize that healing takes time and everybody's journey is very unique. You have to be patient with yourself and compassionate with yourself as you navigate the healing process. But with these practical ways, you can help yourself and you can start your healing journey. It's very important to honor your own pace and seek support that feels right for you. Thank you so much for listening. We've been talking about emotional detachment and healing from a breakup today. If you want a more in-depth dive on detachment, then see the Coquettes and Femme Fatales bundle or the Time to Heal ebook linked on our website www.foreverywoman.info, linked in the description box below. Thank you very much, and please leave your questions in the comment section if you have any.